The press release for Upstream Theater's latest production, Wittenberg, had me impatient to see what playwright David Davalos had wrought. It told me that the play was set in the last week of the month of October in 1517 in the German city of Wittenberg, and that the main characters were Martin Luther, John Faustus, and a young Danish student named Hamlet. Martin Luther was indeed a professor at the university in Wittenberg. He reputedly posted his revolutionary reformatory 95 Theses on the church door there on the last day of October 1517. John Faustus is more a figure of legend than of history, and whatever historical individual or individuals the legend sprang from lived centuries before the 16th, but Christopher Marlowe did place his Dr. Faustus at Wittenberg University, and there he has resided since. And Hamlet, whose multiple historical sources antedate even Faust by several centuries, is said in the play about him to have been called home to Elsinore upon his father's death from his studies at Wittenberg, to which he longs to return. That's quite a collection of brilliance to throw together in a play. Can a playwright meet the challenge? Some would say only if he is equally a genius. But if you want only a clever, witty, erudite evening at the theater combining comedy and deep thoughts, I think Davalos has done very well. I certainly had a very good time at Wittenberg. Some reviewers have compared Davalos to Tom Stoppard in the brilliance of his dialogue and his inventive use of historical and literary antecedent. I would even include Shaw as the high bar he is aspiring to. The playwright does draw heavily on Luther's own writings about his digestive difficulties and the coordinated release of his bowels and of his spiritual dilemma. Alan Noel plays him memorably. In whatever century Faustus may have originated, the play's Faustus is more a mid-20th century philosopher than a 16th century one, it seems to me. If Luther finds answers in his theology, though they trouble him, Faust finds questions in his philosophy, though they please him. The two make great companions and intellectual combatants. It is very easy to warm to Steve Isom's Faustus, and also to be a little wary of where he might lead you. Certainly the student Hamlet finds his major professor challenging and stimulating. Hamlet learns words and phrases from his professors that come not so much from any medieval legend as from a certain English playwright. And Casey Boland's appealingly adolescent Hamlet seems to me to sound more English as the evening progressed. In the time travels of Marlowe's Faustus, he dallies with the Helen of the Iliad, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Our play's Helen is a beautiful nun whom Faustus seduced and freed from her order and from conventional morality, so much so that she rejects his offer of marriage because he has freed her and she will be her own master as the most desired courtesan in Europe. Caitlin Mickey possesses the requisite beauty, but she also is convincing as a cheery barmaid, an ambassadress from the court of Denmark, and as the Blessed Virgin. Michael Heil's economical set includes a table that can hold academic tomes or beer mugs, a few places to sit, a rack from which charts can hang, and a backing panorama of the city of Wittenberg. Laura Hansen's costumes stick to the period. Faustus is quite stylish in his generous slops, and I hope Mickey gets to keep that red gown. Steve Carmichael designed lights, Rachel Tibbetts props, Philip Boehm sound, and Boehm directed in the best way, clearly and unobtrusively.
Yes, this was great fun. I'm not sure it has the depth of Stofford, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was delightful.